I was literally about to say it, and then you cut me off. This is the objective perspective.
I'm Chase.
All right, and I'm Joe, and back at it again. I'm not. I'm Chase.
I am Joe.
Okay. I don't think anyone, if someone just tuned in right now, they'd be like, well, that guy's fine, but who actually is the other person?
Twofold question
Yeah.
here.
We're starting off strong.
It's always someone's first podcast, so that's a real rule.
It's always somebody's first time. Oh, shit. Oh, God, I forgot to do my thing. Let's talk about news, and I'll do my thing in a second.
You fucked up.
I fucked up. And look.
All right, I'll cover for you.
Yeah, do your news. I fucked up.
This is the objective perspective. This is where Chase and Joe talk about video game news and what they've been playing.
And fuck up.
A lot,
Yeah,
apparently.
Apparently.
But you know what? We're getting better every week. So we're going to kick this off with probably the biggest news story of the year, maybe. I might argue, is Battlefront 2.
Yeah, Battlefront 2 did what you'd call a classic fuck up. Like a burning trash fire of fuck ups.
Every time you think EA is just like, they get it.
There's only one company that seems to have like gotten it, and it's Ubisoft, I think.
Yeah, in a really weird way.
But before we get into like why Ubisoft, I guess, is doing okay, we should get into, man, what the fuck happened?
Where do you want to start with this?
I want to go from
this starts
I'm gonna
at Battlefront 1.
Yeah,
if you want to go back.
I'm gonna start from we're gonna start from like my humble beginnings in Battlefront 1 to Battlefront 2 beta to not buying Battlefront 2 because of the beta. But
you were in the beta?
I played the beta. Yeah, I played a few matches of the beta, and I played Battlefront 1, thought it was garbage. I thought it was like a real trash fire of a game.
You thought it was the most disappointing game of 2016.
It was my most disappointing
15.
game. Is Battlefront, 15. Because Battlefront 1 and 2 were like some of my favorite games growing up. I like the idea of being like giant open combat, and this game got rid of all of that part of Battlefront. That was like the part that I loved. I love the battlefield approach to Star Wars. That's just fun. They're like, all right, let's get rid of vehicles, but only if you've run into a glowing hologram, then you activate it.
Like a power up.
Yeah,
on the
then you
field.
kneel down, and then you're like, now I'm Darth Vader, and it's just kind of sucked.
It was weird.
Where then like especially after like knowing what Battlefront 3 was gonna try to be, like what their idea for that game was before that studio got canned.
Oh, was there like leaked?
Yeah,
plans
there was
of
like
that?
the whole leaked footage was some guy, they're like on the ground shooting or like on the ground fighting, and then some guy gets in a spaceship and then goes into space into another dogfight.
Oh, is that where all those complaints for space battles came from?
That and like just Star Wars Battlefront 2 was all you could just have straight space battles where you'd run into like you'd be fighting in space, like you just have like you start on a ship. You get in an aircraft and you just get in space, start
just
dogfighting.
space map.
But then you can also go into the other enemy ship and sabotage it from within.
That sounds sick.
It's
dude.
really fucking cool. Like there's ideas there that could have been like this could have been pinnacle to me. Like this could have like Battlefront Halo 3 could have been Battlefront 3. Like that like level of quality combined.
I see.
I was like so excited for 3, and that game got canned. And then I was like, oh, DICE is coming back. Oh, they might like really go for it.
Who else would you want to make this game?
Yeah. Oh my God, people made Battlefield. They're like, well, we're just not gonna make Battlefield. I'm like, well, that's all this game. This game was going farther than your games were trying to go, and then it sucked. And there's like really shitty progression system. There was a lot of weapons. It was super bare bones. It looked nice. That was the best thing I had going. It sounded like Star Wars.
And the community gave that feedback to EA in droves.
Yeah, it gave it to them hard.
As did the critics. Middling reviews.
Middling reviews for this one, and it seems like Battlefront 2 as well from people I was reading.
Yeah, but we'll get to that later because the point is EA acknowledged that, hey, we were hoping to be a little better reception critically, even though monetarily that game sold amazingly.
So their big thing for all their new releases was like, we're going to make it bigger, more maps, more weapons, more classes.
Like, we're getting it right this time,
guys. Don't worry, we're here.
Mission statement for Battlefront 2.
Yeah, it's our mission statement. We're going to make it back. We got the whatever they're called, the influencers out here playing the game. We got it. Don't worry. Free DLC. That was like, remember I was supposed to think that was like my warning flag in a way for it. Was like
something else.
There's like I'm like, this is not right. I remember like on the file I'm like that's great, but like how are they gonna make you pay for it? I think was like a question.
But they were going so hard for goodwill and being like, this is us doing it right this time. We're making a single player campaign because the first game didn't have one. We're emphasizing this new Star Wars story to fit into the lore with this cool new character.
I mean, we talk about being on VHL and talking to Thomas, and like Thomas and everyone else is sort of like an eye into what normal people think about video games, and not us and being weird. Where they're like, free DLC, how could it possibly go wrong? This game's gonna be so good. And I'm like hesitant because then I played the beta, and I saw the loot boxes and I saw the progression system, was like, oh no, this looks bad.
So when was the beta?
The beta was, I think, like a couple weeks before, like a month before release, I think was the beta.
Got it.
And it didn't really show off all the free-to-play stuff in it, but it did show loot crates. And what I saw from the loot crates were like, you get cards that upgrade your abilities. Like, that's a little, I don't know if I like that. And I also got something that I realized was like the real, like, I saw the problem was you get crafting parts. And you use crafting parts to craft things. And I was like, oh no, this is going to become a crafting game, but only in menus. And lo and behold, it was like, hey, if you try to play this game, you're gonna need to spend a lot of time playing it to get crafting parts to buy the stuff you like, and then if not, if you don't get the random drops you want, and it was shit.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. And then you need all this credit so you can buy Darth Vader.
So flash forward now to the most downvoted Reddit comment of all time.
Which is really
Big
funny.
memes. Here we go.
Yeah.
People on Reddit really making waves in video games. We'll get to more of that.
God, it's so strange that the people who allowed all this to happen are very angry about it. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, basically people were just talking about how the progression system was real fucked, and that the two probably most important characters of Luke and Darth Vader were locked behind the biggest paywall, so to speak.
Yeah, the biggest, like, you had to put a lot of time investment into it and
Calculated about 40 hours of in-game matchmaking.
That was like 40 hours if you weren't doing certain other stuff or like weren't counting. Like 40 hours was like, I think, a really shitty estimate, actually. It's more like 12. It was like, hey, well, if you aren't opening loot crates and you aren't playing the single player campaign, which gave you a bunch at the start and did this stuff, then yeah.
Fuck, man, 12's a big difference
12
from 40.
Yeah, it's like a huge difference. I think people were like, I think that was like the classic, like, I'm on Reddit lay investigations happening here, but like was actually like didn't know the full systems and are actually just bullshitting out.
Show some weird math. And,
yeah, they're like, oh, we got it, don't worry. And it's like, well, no, you didn't think about loot crates, how much money you get from loot crates, how much money you got from the campaign itself if you just played this really bad 5-hour-long campaign.
But I think it's still a compelling argument to say, hey, just playing the multiplayer, this is kind of a fucked progression.
Well, even the loot crates give you a lot, is like what I heard.
And the problem was you can buy the loot crates too,
yeah, and that
plays into that.
The big thing is the upgrades do give you a tangible benefit in the game.
Yeah, they're straight up upgrading your stats and shit.
And you can buy them. That's why people are mad. That's like the end all and be all of it. Or why I would be mad.
I think there's a lot of reasons people are mad, but they all kind of come back together to the source of microtransactions.
Yeah. And like the funny thing is, like, the reason I didn't like the beta was like not the loot crates, which I thought was gross, but I'm like, this is just gonna happen in video games. This is just where they're going.
You're at the acceptance.
Yeah, the part where I'm not accepting it. I'm like, well, this is just like you guys put you're like, I'm gonna I had this talk with someone, they're like, well, you people like rubber banding the controllers in like defiance of the game. Did you hear about this? Like, people are like rubber banding the controller so that you get the same credits,
and they just run around and
farm.
farm.
Yeah, and someone's like, they're doing that like to like spite the game, and I'm like, they bought the game, they don't care about you, you idiots. Like, just don't buy it if you don't want it. Like, if you're like, I'll show them, I'll vote for them, I'll make the game shittier for everyone else who bought it. I'm like, wow, great job, guys, you're ruining your own community. It's like an incredible way to be divisive. Just don't buy it if you don't want it. And the only thing that I was like mad about, I was like, I want to walk to a vehicle, press E or whatever the key is, and then get in it and fly away.
You can do that now, right?
Nope. You earn points in game, and then you pick the vehicle from a menu system.
Like spawning in?
Yeah, you spawn in as the vehicle. And I'm like, it's just not what I want from that game. Like, the reason I don't like Battlefront 2 is I just want a Battlefield game in the Star Wars
with
clothes.
a Star Wars skin.
Yeah, or I want because now I think Battlefield's diverged from what Battlefront actually used to be.
Yeah.
That I think like actually I'd want Battlefront again. But I'm never going to get it, and so I just don't want these games.
And at that point, those two series could coexist and fill slightly different niches even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on from there then, EA decided to pull microtransactions because of their insanely bad PR.
Well,
we didn't specify the response.
We have to get into first what happened. I'm going to move my mic a little bit, but they didn't pull them right away. They changed how much money things were worth first, remember?
We need to talk about the actual bad PR where they just said we want people to feel a sense of progression.
Yeah.
And which was their justification, and people were mad about that.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah. So the first thing was like people were pissed at this design. Like, it was a super one, but this was before the game was even out. They did this. So when the game was released, all microtransactions were out. Before this, microtransactions were in, and this was during review. And I think EA Early Access, like the buying whatever you like pay for the EA Pass thing. I forget what it's called, but like you can get games like a couple weeks early.
EA Origin thing.
EA Origin. Yeah. People played Andromeda early. People played. It's like, and all the Andromeda bad news got circulated. People were playing a little bit early, and then people were like, "Wow, this sucks," and then it moved on. But people were playing this a little early along with reviewers. People were like, wow, this seems super like microtransaction heavy. And they're like, okay, cool. We're going to slash everything by 75%. Everyone's like, oh, okay. I is now that we're so like my favorite conspiracy theory around that was like, oh, they want to upsell it high, and then people care they drop by 75% because like that's the actual numbers. People, I think it's a little conspiracy theory is heavy.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
I can't believe it. I can also kind of believe it. I'm like, that's super good, but like in a bad
they
way.
They anticipated having such bad PR. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't think no one wants bad PR. It's too much. But that happens. But they also reduce like how much EXP or how much credits you got from beginning the campaign by 75%.
Just scaling it, man.
Yeah,
Here
just
we
scaling
go.
it. And then now they're like, oh fuck, and they just got rid of all of the free to play, the money currency to buy things, and now it's just stuck where it is.
There's just no microtransactions at all right now.
And so all you're stuck with is a bad system.
And they're saying that they're probably going to implement them down the line once they quote unquote fix them.
Yeah, but like the system sucks. Like that's like the bad part is I don't think loot crates are a bad way to do like upgrades either. I think there could be something really interesting about doing like you never know what you're gonna get, so you kind of play random classes. You get like more diversity within your game by being like, oh, we upgraded this for you through this loot crate, so now you should probably play this class. Then you get upgraded. Oh, now you can go back to assault class. Like I think that's cool. I think there's an idea there
that can be really cool when there's no duplicates.
Yeah, there's no you'd have to do it as like an actual idea of progression and not an idea of like, we're making money here, baby.
You gotta set rules and like checks and balances.
Yeah, you have to actually like not want to make money off it. Like that's the real thing. Like you have to be like, oh, this is once you bought the game, you get everything in it, and then the progression system is built around you getting nice stuff quickly, but also getting a weird smattering of it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being like, no, we want your fucking money. Pay me the Illyrium crystals or whatever they were called. Give me your fucking Jedi crystals, and you'll get Darth Vader, motherfucker.
But not pink Darth Vader.
Yeah, not pink Darth Vader. Are they doing pink Darth Vader? Like I heard about this, and this confuses me.
So this is a little more recent now. Is the like CFO of EA came out and was trying to justify why there was no cosmetic upgrades in these loot boxes or anything. It was all straight up the stat progression based stuff. Whereas even in Battlefront 1, there was cosmetic stuff. You could change your helmet, like you'd be a stormtrooper without a helmet on. You could be different races of people. None of that is in this game. Everyone looks the exact same. Which is weird because like that was kind of one of the more interesting things about 1, and you'd think it would make a lot of sense to sell that stuff in 2. And their justification was they didn't want to mess with the canon of Star Wars.
Yeah, the illustrious canon of the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone has already reacted saying like there's so much you could do even in universe that justifies it. Like
I think the funny thing is
without even getting crazy.
I think the funny thing is that people are now like, why aren't they selling us cosmetic stuff after being mad they were selling them stuff is maybe the weirder thing about that turn.
Battlefront 3 is going to come out and there's going to be a pink Darth Vader. I'll bet you money right now.
That's good. That's a good thing.
I know, but like
I still find it really weird that people got angry about the
gross.
cosmetic stuff because they're like, why aren't we being sold this stuff and being sold this stuff? And I'm like, guys, just stop wanting to be sold stuff.
I mean, I get where the sentiment's coming from. You know, it's the idea of being like, well, if you want to sell something, like, why didn't you just choose to sell cosmetic things? Like, I understand you're trying to make a business here. You're trying to make money. Sell the cosmetic shit that doesn't ruin the gameplay. I think that's a very valid
Remember
criticism.
back in the day when it was like, get 25 headshots, get a new skin for your assault rifle?
Hey, man, I'm with you.
I just want.
This is trying to be like a compromise. Be like, hey, man, I know you got to make a buck. Like, why didn't you just do this like way healthier thing for the game?
Yeah, I still believe that you should sell map packs if you want to make your money. Like that's like where I think it should sit.
That divides the community.
Though. But like, how are we gonna do anything with the shittier system of loot boxes?
Then you just get skins and shit. Like that is like the best outcome I've seen right now.
Yeah. But then we're just like, then you're like coming over like, can we make enough money off it? Like, it's like Overwatch was probably not worth as much money as Battlefront 2 off the bat.
Do you really think so?
Cost wise, yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's like what I'm arguing. I actually hit a clicker open, and I feel like an idiot.
You're making a lot of noise over there today,
Look,
Chase.
I got my hands busy.
Do you need a fidget spinner?
Yeah, I need a fidget spinner.
Fidget cube?
I saw someone like gave me a fidget spinner. I spun it like 3 times. Like, why was this a thing?
I've seen people use the fidget cube, just like
What's
walking around.
What's the fuck's
with
a fidget cube?
You've never heard of it? It
No.
came before the fidget spinner, I think. It's like the same people. It's like
the antiquated fidget
all right,
spinner.
picture like a dice, right?
Okay.
Like just a cube.
Like
Make
a
it
Rubik's cube.
smaller than a Rubik's cube, bigger than a dice.
Okay.
Yay big.
Okay.
Visual podcast.
I got you. Yeah.
And it's got each side just has a different little thing. So there's like a light switch knob on one kind of. There's like a little pushy button on the other. Just like little various things to like mess with your fingers. And it helps with like ADHD stuff.
Okay. Why did fidget spinners get big, Joe?
Memes.
Okay.
Why do memes get big?
Yeah, it's a really good question we're asking now.
So EA is just being real bad and making the situation worse every time they comment on it.
Yeah, you think they should just go radio silent and just release patch notes?
Seriously, like I'm amazed at how much they keep sticking their foot in their mouth.
It's good though. I really like it. It's like the biggest trash fire this year. I'm sort of been like waiting for like the big fall dumbass maneuver, and it's been Battlefront 2.
Well, what's amazing is people actually didn't buy the game as a result, which surprised me.
I want to know how the sales are exactly. But that seems like the most surprising thing was people. But I'm also now unhappy because people fucking flew off the shelves for World War II. And that's just this. It has fucking loot boxes in it. Like, you can't escape it.
A lot of my friends playing a lot of World War II.
They're like, man, I'm sorry I didn't buy Battlefront 2.
They're saying they like it, though. They're like, oh, I'm really happy it went back to the core stuff. I really hated that Advanced Warfare stuff.
I love playing Call of Duty 2 again.
That's honestly how a lot of my friends feel.
No, I don't doubt that people really like Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And if they make it in World War II, like what people really want, they mean back to the basics. They want Modern Warfare, but then they just put a new skin on it, which was a World War II version, and that's the game they got.
Well, they're just happy that
Modern Warfare 2.
Things
actually,
got
probably
a little complicated with movement and stuff, and there was something to be said for going back to a more simplistic movement with simpler maps.
There's a
and
part
less
of me that's
graphics.
There's a part of me that's like, are we that stupid? You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's just different.
If we've had this talk before about like, does it matter? But like, it's like. It got a little, when you say it got a little complicated, I'm almost like, I think people just didn't like the style. Is more what it is. Is like, I don't think the movement was like, what if World War II, but you could also run on walls and shoot people would be awesome.
I was talking to a friend just yesterday. He's like, I just didn't like doing that. I thought that like it made the game less fun for me. And he didn't like getting good at it. He just didn't want to deal with that kind of mechanic. So for the game to take away those slightly more advanced mechanics.
What do you slide it all in World War II, or do you just follow the ground?
I think it's a dolphin dive again.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I didn't like the dolphin dive at all.
I was a fan of it in Black Ops.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've fallen out. I saw the campaign footage for the World War II game, and I was like really disappointed.
I mean, I've told you I was really underwhelmed with what I had played of it.
Yeah. I think the next thing I want to do for like a video or something like at my own time to work on, I want to play World War II. I want to play Call of Duty 2 and like compare contrast.
Do a video essay.
Yeah, like be like, which one's really better and which one was like had the ideas correct in the first place. It's like all the tone for the World War II one looks so strange. It was like they were like very much like they'd been in war for a long time when like that's just not what happened.
America just showed up.
Yeah, well like that, and like no one, the idea of a military man didn't exist yet. Like World War II made that an idea, but like in U.S., like what was a military man before World War II? No, there was not such like an idea. And so I see this game where it's like it almost feels like it's more influenced by the like our wars, where they're like tired and gruff men, but like that wasn't what that war was like, or like that wasn't what we were like then. It seems strange. I don't know. I think about World War II stuff a lot. It's like where I got my love for history from, which is bad and probably like a lot of people get that from. But then you don't dissect enough. You're like, wow, I really just liked looking at a war where millions of people died. What a fucking weird thing to like as a kid.
I'm just surprised how underwhelming it looks. Like it looks kind of ugly and blurry.
I really liked Infinite Warfare's campaign. I think it's a super good campaign that had something to say and was interesting. And I'm like really disappointed that like the next team that came by was just like, we're doing World War II again.
A lot of people really like that campaign, actually. I've heard like that's gotten some high praise, and it was the best-selling game of last year, I think.
Infinite Warfare?
I think it was.
I don't know. I'd have to look. I'd take Grand Theft Auto 5, but we got to check.
I heard a throwaway statistic. It was the best-selling game of last year. I can't back that up.
That campaign was like phenomenally good.
But just to back up, to finish off this EA story
finish up this
here,
EA nightmare.
3.1 billion stock hit. Photos everywhere from Black Friday of all the shelves empty for games except for Battlefront 2. Like, people actually voting with their wallets, which is something I feel like people never do.
And should do, like, more of.
I want to know how EA reacts to this. Like, I need to see their next move because
Battlefront
it's been a rough
3.
year
Don't
for
worry,
them,
we're gonna make it better this time.
Need for Speed came out this year, right?
Need for Speed, it did not fly off the shelves either, I presume.
Yeah,
because
that also had bad shit.
Also, there's a complete loot crate progression system.
Although I heard all the racing games this year were pretty fucked.
I heard Forza was good.
Forza was the one because I heard GT had some.
Yeah, GT has problems.
But
GT always has problems. They never seem to want to fix them. Weird. But Forza seems to be. I want the Forza team to stop making Forza games and just make like a fun arcade racing game.
Make a Mad Max
but I don't know
game.
if that world exists anymore. Like in that, like I think it does. If someone made a really good one, like I want to believe that like people would be like, I want to play a fucking cool racing game. but like all we get is like serious kind of race. Like I want there's gonna be Burnout Paradise, but like again, give me Burnout Paradise 2.
What was that like open world game on the 360 where you could just like drive around this giant fucking
Burnout
map?
Paradise.
I don't think it was Paradise, but maybe it was. I don't know.
That's one of them. There was also like there was like a really huge open world racing
There were
game.
some very experimental racing games last
yeah.
gen.
Well, one of the best games of last gen, and I will hands down say I forgot to bring this up when we did our PVJ show. Was Burnout Paradise is one of my favorite games of all time. It's just one of the best. It's one of the best racing games ever made, and we've yet to like get past that.
Well, we've moved away from it.
Yeah,
too.
we like you got Fortune who came in and did like realistic style racing really well. Like I remember playing those two games on my 360 was Burnout and Forza games. They're just both really good. And then after Burnout disappeared, like that was it.
We just moved more hyper like simulation.
We got like some Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was okay. I thought it was like I like the cop. Like
was that the really cheesy one?
No. That it might have been
the reboot
cheesy.
Need for Speed.
Yeah, there's like that was like Need for Speed Rivals, which was like cops versus them. But there's like actually like Most Wanted, which was just like hey. I like the multiplayer of that game, which is just cops versus racers, and you just have like
those are fun.
You have your defense, they have their offense. You're trying to like just go in and you're racing real fast.
Like
it's
Hot
cool.
Pursuit back in the day.
Like I like that stuff, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get those games again.
I think we live in a time where we get what people actually like demand for.
Yeah.
If it takes a long time, we end up getting it.
Yeah, I always think we're like at least 3 years behind what people want, so we might be like 2 years, 3 years, we'll get what we want. Because it takes time to make these things, obviously. Not like it's like, why aren't they give it to me now? It's like, well, if you want a good one, you gotta fucking wait. Look at all the games that have come out now.
Yeah. I do feel we're finally in the time where people are listening and it's happening as a result.
Oh yeah, we had the fucking lull at the beginning of this console generation, and we only had a few people willing to step up to the plate, and now people are like stepping up all over, but now they're just tripping over themselves while trying to step up, and it's been an incredible clusterfuck of moments.
What a weird generation.
Which
do you want to do a mild segue? When do you think the next generation could be, if there is one?
When did the PS4 come out?
2013.
Oh, we still got probably like 3, 4, 5 years left in this. Okay, I'd argue maybe even more, depending on how they want to if they want to keep doing the iterational pushes stuff.
So you don't think 2019 we see info reveal or rumors about a PS5?
There could be. Like the thing is, like there could be, or they could be like doing what like it'd be like, hey, we're doing the PS4X, something like that.
I was gonna say, do you think incremental consoles?
I think it could be incremental consoles. I'm okay with incremental consoles as long as it's like they give you like a few consoles and they're like, okay, we're just designing games for this game, like this console now. We're just gonna push it for this. This is gonna be your next one.
That's like an important thing for me. Is I think I want the hard cuts. I'm kind of I think the Xbox One X is like a really admirable idea. But like a lot of Microsoft's
like,
plans,
the thing
it
is,
goes
like,
against how I kind of feel.
I'd be fine with people being like, making games for the Xbox One X and up now. So like if someone's like, oh, you released like an Xbox 720, or I don't know what the fuck they're gonna call their Xbox has no good naming pattern, but if they call it like that, but they're like, okay, no more games for the original Xbox, we're just working on X and up. And like then that would be fine. Like, hey, games you get on X might be a little downgraded, might not run as well. These things might happen. But like you can, for the people who can't afford that like higher tier console, hey, you get your things on that. Like I think that's cool.
I want a harder line between generations.
Yeah,
and
I just don't know that's gonna happen anymore.
I know. It's like I think it still sucks how blurred the line between 7th and 8th gen is. You know?
Yeah. No, but I think that's the world we're gonna start living in.
It's just a less fun world to me.
Yeah,
and that I might have to accept that.
It's a less fun one.
It's so fun when there's a new generation, man. It's so exciting. And then you feel like games have moved up a step. And it's a really cool sensation. And there's huge trends and changes.
I don't think that existed after the PS1. I guess is my idea of like that. Like you only see like gradual shift in graphical levels. You see like there's like my favorite time of generation is when it's about to end. That's my favorite part of the generational.
Yes.
When you feel like when they like hit all full stride running and you get like those fucking great last of your like line games.
100%.
Yeah, but like when you get to the new generation, it's like it feels like there's this crest and it all falls and you're like, oh shit, Knack's out again, baby.
But, like,
Here
I
we go.
think that's really fun, and I really like that. And then you can just ride out your old consoles
what
in
if,
their best times until the new consoles get
What
good.
if it's always the crest is up and it's just always moving?
I don't know, man.
What if we never run out of Hollow Knight?
We'll get there.
But before we do that, let's talk about the games that are coming out in December.
Oh, he got his list together. Look at that.
I just went on GameSpot. Look, motherfucker.
All right.
Hey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 just came out.
This is a segment where Chase reads off the list of games coming out in this month.
And we talk about them. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 just came out.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some shit on that game. If you want to get into it right now.
Okay. Well.
Let's get into it right here. We're talking about
All right, so what kind I want to hear what you think is like the shit you've been seeing, because I've been following a lot of this stuff.
The character design shit that I've been seeing has been weird.
Wait, like people complaining about it? Like,
yeah, there have been like some, not professionally, like people who are like pretty not professional, I guess, or like just consumers have been like, sees like a lot of people have been like, yo, I feel vindicated a little bit in some of my, but there's like one like lady that they've been showing off, like this white haired lady that just has like an enormous rack that's
I
like,
don't think I've seen her then.
it's like, I can't like this. It's like you had like, oh, this person has like really big boobs, and they have tumors that have grown tumors large, and then like her spine is forward, and she has an ass shelf like they did with that May problem, where like it's like it looks so bad. And I like have been looking at it on and off for like a week and been like, what the fuck is this?
I legitimately don't think I've seen this.
And
character.
I keep looking at more of the two main characters, and I fucking hate their designs so much. But that's really, I've been seeing some people complain about reviews and some people being like, I don't like this game that much, and it's been like that kind of like controversy of like, these damn people hate Nintendo, and then other people are like, I hate Nintendo, and then like just people being angry at each other, and then like everyone's like, it always feels like fanboys just fucking flare up so quick when like everyone's like, man, Nintendo's just been killing it this year. I didn't like Xenoblade 2, but everything else has been like, all other people have been like, man, everything else they put out has been my favorite things. You're like, you don't like Xenoblade 2, you motherfucker.
I think people still can't talk about video games.
Yeah,
go figure.
I don't think people can talk about many things. I think video games is just a microcosm.
You're right. Maybe I shouldn't be that specific.
Yeah.
So what I've been seeing, review scores have been kind of like not as high as like the original Xenoblade.
Sitting on like low 80s, mid 80s.
It's like 84 right now, which is really good.
It's
still.
a good review.
It's worth saying.
I'll tell you one thing. There's this one picture I saw that like fucking killed me. It was a Gamergate picture, and someone had Nier Automata, Persona 5, and Xenoblade 2 is like, you can't tell us what to get, game reviewers. You're dead. Gamergate, like that kind of thing.
What?
And I'm like, those are like the 3 considered best games of the year, like hands down. Like even people I know who are like super edgy are like, you should all play Nier. Everyone should play Nier. Everyone should.
Well, everyone likes Nier.
Yeah, because that's weird. It's like,
Nier's good.
It's like we're the weird ones who don't like Persona 5, and I'm a pretty anti-gamer.
I like Persona 5 more than you do.
Yeah.
I still don't dislike that game.
But like even people who are like super like SJW nonsense that they call out love Persona 5, and I'm like the one who doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Like I'm the weird one in and it's just this fucking comment like or that picture like I stared at it for like 30 minutes. It's like the Metascores for these are like the lowest one, Xenoblade 2. Like what the fuck?
He's trying to decipher what it means.
Yeah, I'm trying to crack and his Twitter picture was Persona picture. I just fucking laughed so hard.
You see the people complain about Xenoblade, they have the Xenoblade box art as their Twitter picture. You're not doing yourself any favors, man.
It's like the guys who like had the Scorpio in their Twitter thing. Oh, it was the good shit. It was so good.
Phil Spencer response.
Yeah.
Hey man, just chill out.
Yeah, like guys, come on.
I love Phil.
Yeah, Phil like the down to earth, like, hey, look, come on.
Phil tries. He engages with people, dude.
He seems like the only person who's like human who like is a businessman, but also is like I also really like video games. I own a PS4. I play Bloodborne. Like, come on, guys.
It's like, hey guys, you should play like Hollow Knight. It's really good.
Yeah, you guys should play Hollow Knight. You guys should play Bloodborne. You guys should like kind of play these good games. Like they're good.
But finishing Xenoblade really quick. The reviews were like back and forth. Original Xenoblade got 92 on Metacritic, which is very, very good. Really hard to crack 90 on Metacritic.
From like, I think we had this talk earlier about Xenoblade, and like me and you both kind of agreed that like character design for 2 doesn't feel as like fresh as like 1 just felt so cool.
I think it's more just that original Xenoblade is more. It has a wider appeal in its art style, and I think in some of the tones and themes. I haven't got to play 2 yet. I have my copy, but it is more focused. It's more Japanese-centric. It's going for a specific audience.
Yeah.
That Xenoblade 1 had a much wider reach than that, and that inherently is going to turn a lot of people off.
Yeah, and I think the idea of going for a wider reach is like what made it feel different, whereas like, oh, it isn't like being this anime. It was like, we're going to just tell like a good story, and like with like actually like different voices than you hear the normal, besides like high female and normal dude. It's like actually British people,
which was unintentional for American audiences.
Yeah,
if they originally brought that thing over, we would have got American voices.
I know, which is like
I almost said English voices.
Yeah. I think they already have. But yeah, that game felt different and interesting, even while like being stuck with all its like anime nonsense. That's good and I like, but
and then it gets very existentialistic.
Yeah, so
which
like,
I hear 2 does as well.
Yeah, but like I wonder if the trappings around 2 are what like drags it down instead of like where the trappings around one were like more. I felt like uniquer for that game.
So this is what I want to say is I don't think that change in tone or art style or direction should affect like the quality of the game. I think they're unrelated. I think it's just like what you like, and it becomes obviously all of this is subjective taste stuff, but it's more like it doesn't make this game any worse just because it's got this specific audience, but it might turn off more people to it.
Did you see the video of people never shutting up while they fight?
No.
They were like had the English voice actors on, and like every second in a fight. Talking.
I like that.
Not like they're like all having a chat. It's like he says the same thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and like he's just repeating the same line.
So I need to see how bad it is because that's a Kingdom Hearts thing I really like is when you fight Hades and he says, "I'm on fire."
Well, like
that's it.
I think like the difference is like it's your teammates.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you.
But you're gonna play Japanese voice actor, so I heard it fixes it in a better way.
I'm gonna play Japanese voices.
Yeah, so I think it's already finer for you.
Okay. Well, now I want to see.
We'll see this fucking nightmare. We'll see this fucking nightmare.
But yeah, people not being able to talk about that difference in taste of just being like, well, it's a game that's now for more Japanese-centric fans who like JRPGs of the JRPG type, and like that's okay. And people not recognizing that and that is okay.
Well, the thing is, if you're a reviewer, you don't go, I'm not reviewing for someone else.
Oh, no, I mean for the people reacting to look at that and say, like, I recognize this reviewer
that'd be a
doesn't
weird thing.
like the JRPG skewed that way, but I know that I do, then that's fine. Like, that's what I'm saying.
It's like the classic, like, if you build your identity around something, and if it gets attacked, you're getting attacked, not just the material possession that you built your life around.
But the final thing I do want to say, though, is I think it's on the reviewers also to be better at the conversation. And I think I was a little disappointed because I felt like some of it was a little unprofessional on their end as well. I don't want to call out specifically.
Just tell me what happened. I don't know.
Well, I do want to say there was a specific article. So, Jason Schreier, right?
Yeah.
Loves JRPGs, like really influential person in the industry, does a lot of great work. He did not like the original Xenoblade. Like,
I saw that,
He doesn't like that game. And that's totally okay. And he wanted to review this game, and that's coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't like the original Xenoblade. People were like, oh, he shouldn't review this game because he didn't like the first one. That's bullshit. I think it's really valid to have a review from the angle of, hey, I didn't like this first game. Let me tell you what I think of the sequel, because I'm sure there's other people who feel the same.
Yeah.
What I thought was like bad about his review is it felt kind of pointed, and it felt kind of like not snarky, but it was coming from this place of very like it felt pointed to me. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't helping the conversation. It felt very like know-it-all-y and kind of like wanting to trigger responses out of people. And I think he could have presented his ideas in a way that would have been more diplomatic.
I should probably read that.
You should read the review because you might disagree with me.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with his opinions. Like, I think there was a lot of hyperbole and stuff that, like, I disagree with. Like, he just shat on Nopons, and I'm like, oh, I know those are great.
Yeah, Nopons are good.
Yeah. I've seen people compare them to, like, Jar Jar Binks and stuff. But, like, just recognizing that, like, hey, there's a specific style of this. You should be able to know if it's for you or not.
Yeah.
And I just wish that on both sides people could be better about having that discussion.
Yeah.
Because I think they need to be leading by example. I think they need to be not inflammatory in the reviews because, like a lot of JRPG reviews I read that really make me sad, they come off very snarky, very just dismissive of that style of game just because of how different it is culturally to how it is in America.
I think there's sometimes like also the snark and also the boredom of it, I guess, is like a real thing. Like I like JRPGs. Most plots for JRPGs make me want to put a bullet in my brain because I'm just so seen it. I've 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 seen it. And you're like, okay, this isn't changed from the SNES. Like I'm just here again, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I almost get angrier at JRPGs. I'm like, you have the ability to tell an interesting story with how you uniquely do your gameplay, and you have been pushed back by people in RPG Maker are doing more interesting things than you've ever tried to do.
I'd love to go into a deeper conversation with you about that at another time, about like what JRPG is talking about, because I think some of those like criticisms, like I get where they're coming from, but I think that they're just hyperbolic and out of touch as well sometimes.
Yeah, I think sometimes I think there's like unique one. I think the worst part is like the unique ones are not the ones that are getting talked about. Like that's like the real thing.
I think Bravely Default tells a really cool story that subverts the genre
and people loved it, and like that's the thing. Like everyone it's like I think those
not everyone loved it.
That's true. Not everyone did love Bravely Default. I love Bravely Default.
Polarizing game.
Bravely Default 2, not so much.
I need to play it still.
But I still thought it was okay. But it was more of just like, instead of Bravely Default felt like a breath of fresh air, Bravely Second felt like Bravely Default.
We're doing it again, yeah.
Woo! On to the next game in our
that was
list.
all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, it's good. We got The Curse of Osiris, Destiny 2, December 5th, DLC.
Woo! Destiny 2.
Let's talk about Destiny 2. God, I nailed the segue train today.
Yeah, honestly, that wasn't even intentional, was it? Admit it.
It was totally intentional. I'm the best podcast host for this show.
All right, so when you think of publishers in video games, you got the big three. You got the big three kahunas.
You got Activision.
You got
EA,
and you got Ubisoft.
You got Ooby Dooby.
So we said Ooby Dooby is the only one getting it right so far.
Yeah.
And that's because we got Activision here.
Well, Activision hasn't been getting it right or wrong, but then they got it wrong.
Dude, I think they got it more wrong than EA right now, from what I was reading.
That I think they did too, but that's not what people are gonna say.
Well, because EA is the worst company.
Yeah,
in the world,
EA is the worst company in the world. Even though Warner Brothers is the worst company in the world. If you're talking about the fourth Dark Horse publisher of evil, it's Warner Brothers. It's Warner Brothers, but Bethesda puts out a good game at least.
They just don't sell.
Yeah,
they just don't market it.
It's weird that people don't vote for it. I want good games. My dollar. Battlefront. All right. Call of Duty.
Right.
Bring it back.
Hey. Tell me about Destiny 2's experience.
Hey, Destiny 2, I need you to explain it to me because I played the game and I felt like I wanted to be explained to me so I could relate it to my own experience. Like,
all right,
give me the description.
When you're max level and you're trying to grind out light levels, right? That's a thing you do in Destiny. It's very MMO-like. You need to grind stuff. So something people identified doing was repeating these sort of events. They do kind of scenario type stuff.
Strikes.
I guess it was strikes, maybe. I don't know the specific
public
events.
Yes, there's a bunch of shit you can do
instead of just playing multiplayer matches or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the point is, when you finish these, there's a number that pops up on your screen that says 9,000 experience, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
Instead of getting 9,000 experience, it was actually secretly giving you less than it said. It's not even just that like they didn't tell you that you were getting less experience each time you repeated it. There was a number, and the number was not the real number.
That's incredible.
And so then
and makes a lot of sense.
The Reddit super detectives
back at it again
did what they do best, and they figured it out, which is kind of impressive that someone just sat down. They made like multiple accounts, and they were like testing this shit. They caught Bungie and Activision, I guess, at large. I shouldn't just say Bungie.
I mean, it's back at the so this is after you get to level 20, right? This is past level 20 is what the assumed thing was.
I don't know if it applied earlier than that, but the point is repeating events was giving you less experience each time, and they weren't telling you that. And people have said, hey, we don't mind that you're doing this because that's like understandable, but you have to tell us.
Yeah, you just let us know. Though I think the interesting thing about it is repeating events for gear, you don't really, once you get to level 20, you don't like repeat events to level up again. There's no point.
Light level, right?
No. So light level only gets increased through weapons you gain. So it's a stat based thing. So this is where I think it's actually the gross part is when you get light, you get a thing called a bright engram, which you go to the real money shop to exchange for the real money items. For like a loot box, yeah. But you get it from playing the game. So what you're telling me is they made it harder to get the real money loot boxes past a certain point.
Yes.
Which is disgusting.
No, that's like why they did it. Like there's
no
denying it.
No.
And they go, the system wasn't working as intended. It's like, no.
I think it's working exactly as intended.
So then they like halted their streams and they wanted to apologize to everyone. They said, hey, we fixed it. So did you hear the new development now?
I heard they didn't fix it.
They changed it.
Okay.
So what they did.
It's different than fixing it.
So what they did is that part was fixed. But as a result now, they've just increased the amount of experience you need without telling you again.
Easy peasy. Easy.
It's incredible, dude.
It's an amazing amount of just, I'm lying. You need to spend money on this.
And they got caught again.
Of course they did. Like, you can't just like change it and say you fixed it when like now you have like the actual internet looking at you. The weird thing is, too, for me is specifically, why is this on? Okay, I just turned that off.
Okay.
That was weird. There's like something that was on and it shouldn't have been on.
She just launched a missile.
Yeah, I just killed 300 innocent civilians. Welcome back to
small island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Goodbye, Honolulu.
That's in the Pacific.
Yeah, but like I just don't like that name.
What's wrong with Honolulu?
You see those people there?
Isn't it the name of the queen of Hawaii back in the day?
Before we like came in there and then like purposely usurped her and like stole the power almost completely illegally. It was really good.
They got good pineapples there. You
Yeah,
know? I really love pineapples.
I'd love to visit Hawaii one day and then talk to the people there about how we usurped their power almost illegally and then annex their state. I mean, the conversation's happening. Just there's like one side that's just really not listening for some reason. I don't know who it could be. Who couldn't be listening about this problem?
When's Puerto Rico becoming a state?
Never, because there's not a lot of white people there. But don't worry, we'll send them like a care package every week, and hopefully they'll fix themselves.
A paper towel in it.
Yeah, we'll throw a paper towel. Hey, you guys got this right. Hey, put yourself up by your bootstraps. Hopefully famine isn't happening. Like, what the fuck?
Tell me about fucking video games. Save me.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
No, we're good. Everything's so good here. Let's get back into All right, Destiny 2 happened, and it's bad. There we go.
What else is there to say? I want to know what happens going forward.
There's a new DLC coming out December 5th.
Osiris, he's a big Anubis man.
Curse of Osiris is the first expansion for Destiny 2. It introduced new areas to explore, strikes, missions, a new social space called the Lighthouse, raid layers, which are areas inside the first raid to go explore now, which seems dumb, free roam activities, a world quest, and more.
Do you think people are gonna quote unquote vote with their wallets? People right now?
The thing is, I bet people already bought all the expansion packs who are already in.
Right, like I feel like all those hardcore Destiny people bought that, expansion pass.
I think the thing is like, the people who do this like don't care as much is like the real thing. I think for this is like less egregious to them than the other thing.
Dude, this is so much scummier than what EA did.
I agree. I think they're both on equal levels of scum. I
don't think EA lied to your face about it and
then
like tried to do it
but
again.
Like I feel like Destiny is a better way to get all the stuff is still better than EA's way of trying to get the things. If you like catch my drift, like it's like being purposely shady to your face, and then it's like being deceitfully bad. Like not like levels of terribleness. I still think they're both terrible.
You're right. Maybe it's pointless to say which one's worse.
Yeah.
But like this one just like it hurt me.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, welcome to Destiny. It hurts you.
That's why I didn't buy that game.
Yeah, I bought it. I'm all right with it. I'm going to play that expansion when it comes out.
Expansion?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
I have friends who want to play it, and that's like the one of the few games I'm okay with dumping some money into because I like it.
So it's not going to deter you at all that they did this?
No, because like their stuff is all cosmetic. Is like that upgrade stuff too. So like if I'm not getting that cosmetic stuff, I care a little bit less. But if like I'm not getting like in-game upgrades, then I'd be a little angry. But that doesn't affect any of the in-game upgrade stuff.
Okay, interesting.
I was like, once you hit level 20, that game you're free. You only thing that gets you upgrades. You find a purple weapon that's like, instead of having 270 attack on my pistol, now I have 280 attack. That then upgrades your light level like a 3 points. Then you might find a 284 level gun or something. And that's how you get your points up. So like that's just cosmetic. So it sucks. It's bad. You should be honest about how you're trying to cheat people, but don't try to cheat people dishonestly. Like, come on.
All right.
Just cheat them normally, like we all do. Call Me HD for the PS4, Xbox One, PC, December 12th.
Maybe that game will finally sell.
Nope. It just says Players Unknown Battleground Early Access Xbox One X. So
is that the 12th?
Yeah. No, is it? It could be. Oof. But I don't know. It's
coming to Xbox.
I'm looking at this full list. We have more games to pop up. I didn't look at my list correctly.
Is that its official
Doom
release?
VFR is December 1st. Let me get down here.
Okay.
So you got the Doom, which I don't like how it looks at all.
Dude, you're gonna get motion sick. I want to see that shit.
Dead Rising 4, Frank's big package, which I think is the Dead Rising 4 full set for PS4 comes out.
Wait, that's still not on PS4.
It's still not out.
That came out last year.
It's going to come out on PS4, and it's going to be all the stuff for it.
That's crazy.
That game's not good. It's okay. Whatever. I don't know. Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris, December 5th. Talked about that. Steep, Road to the Olympics, December 5th. So that Steep expansion's coming.
There we go.
Everyone watch out. Steep did not sell well, and no one's playing it. Bravo Team for PSVR, December 6th. I don't know what that is. I'm going to look. Give me...
Did you watch that trailer I sent you?
Holy shit, Bravo Team's the fucking first-person shooter game that looks super lame during the E3 presentation for like PSVR. Remember that, like, the military shooter one? I want to see that game now because that looks so mediocre.
Did you watch the trailer I sent you for the One Piece VR game?
Yes.
Man, I'm going to buy a PSVR to play that shitty game.
The future's now. Xbox One PC, Hello Neighbor comes out, which never looked good.
Is it a game you talk to your neighbor?
It's like you try to sneak into your neighbor's house, and if he catches you, he kills you. I don't know. It's weird. It got big for some reason. I think a bunch of YouTubers played it. I don't know. Loco Roco 2 Remastered PS4. A classic.
Do you like Loco Roco?
Loco Roco is good.
Okay.
The End is Nigh for the Switch comes out December 12th. That was on our Game of the Year list for best gameplay. That is a Super Meat Boy platformer style game that's made by the guy who made Super Meat Boy, Ed McMillan.
Oh, okay.
And also voice from people, like the voice of one of the people from Red Letter Media is in it. It's really weird.
Weird.
But I've heard it's very good. Fallout 4 VR for the Vive comes out December 12th. Danny's gone. We'll never see him again.
Do you think he'll play it?
I mean, he has the vibe. I mean, I think he's starved for games by this point.
And he's still playing Audio Shield.
Audio Shield's good. Like, I wanted to play that. I just want to listen to music and play games. Like, I like music rhythm games. It's good. Gang Beast, December 12th, PS4.
I can't believe that game's not on PS4 already. I could have swore it was.
It's not. It says Players Unknown Battleground early access for Xbox One December 12th. It doesn't know if it's out yet.
So it's coming to Xbox, but it's still not considered out?
Well, Xbox One has an early access program.
What a world.
Yeah. It's fine. I don't mind that. Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition, Not a Hero DLC, End of Zoe DLC. All coming out December 12th for Resident Evil stuff. So
I already bought Resident Evil 7, so I don't think I need the DLC.
Some of the DLC is really good. Is all I'm going to say. I really like them.
I'm not going to get to.
You don't need to. Final Fantasy 15 Episode Ignis, December 13th, so you can finally play as Iggy.
My favorite.
Your favorite character. Ukulele for the Switch, the 14th.
Oh, shit.
Tiny Metal, 21st for PS4, PC, and Switch. Tiny Metal's like I forget what that was. I remember like the name. We just see a cover for it. Nothing's popping up here. Well,
Tiny Metal?
Yeah, Tiny Metal. Oh, that's the
like Olympic metal.
No, shut up. No, metal.
I honestly thought you meant metal.
Metal. No, it's that's the
Enunciate.
You shut up. That's the Advanced War game that's coming out.
Oh.
Which I've heard some okay and then not so okay things where every map is a Fog of War map.
You can like build your own maps though.
Yeah,
that's
but
cool.
I heard everything's Fog of War though, which is disappointing because those aren't the levels I love from Advanced War.
Haven't touched an Advanced War game.
You should.
I think I'd like them.
And then The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, the Champions Ballad, still to be released in December. I don't know when though.
That's not coming out in December.
Do you not think so? You don't think it'll be like end of December? Or like, hey, we put out the Champions Ballad. Where you get to play as the other characters.
They'd put a direct out to announce it's coming out, so I would say January.
Okay. Well, I hadn't done it yet, so it's my response. That's it.
There we go. That's it.
December's winding down.
Xenoblade, the obvious winner.
Xenoblade coming out. Doom VFR. I guess if you're into that. Okami HD. You know, if you haven't on the Okami train yet, choo choo, it's coming.
I'll buy it for PS2.
I might eventually get all the season pass for Final Fantasy 15 and just play through all those.
Dude, I want to play through Final Fantasy 15 again when that game is done. I'm going to do it.
I thought you were like just like now, and I was like, I won't even touch it now.
I'm gonna wait till they're done updating it and it's a whole new game.
I might just wait, and like get the season pass and be like, now I know what Gladio did when he just randomly came back. Was like, I should see the other guy that had a bunch of scars on his face. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Comes back in this hazmat suit in the middle of the power plant.
Have we ever met people who really like that game? Is like the thing that's been like surprising me. People really like that game.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm like, I wish I could see it.
I get it. I just don't get it.
All right, yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, somewhat. There's things in that game that are so good, and then there's the game.
And then you have like Thomas who just hates it and thinks it's one of the worst games he's ever played.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
You know what? Honestly, I don't get a lot of Thomas. He's an apologist for games that are objectively not good.
It's on the objective perspective. We don't use the word objective a lot, so
yeah,
when we say it.
Ghost Recon Wildlands is objectively a bad game.
Man, there was a lot of excitement before that game came out, and that's such a huge game this year. Like we forget
Wildlands.
That's top 5 best selling this year.
I know. I played it. I took the fucking dive, Joe.
You're one of them.
I was like, I need to know, and then I beat that game before Thomas did, and I sat down, put the controller in. This game blows.
You bought fucking Shadow of War.
I wanted to play that or South Park. I knew South Park was probably going to be better, but I wanted to know what Shadow of War was. And that game is still one of the most interesting games I've played this year. We never even talked about it. Holy shit, we never talked about
Tell me about it.
I do want to. I have one more news story, though, that's like really interesting to me specifically, is they made an expansion to Titan Quest, which is really weird. Titan Quest is a Diablo ripoff that was made from, I think, by THQ in like 2006. Originally came out, then had like an expansion a little bit while after, but nothing from that game forever. PC game, yeah. And they just released Ragnarok, which is like a Norse-inspired expansion for this game, And I know for a fact after I beat Hollow Knight, I'm going to play that next.
It's out right now.
It's out right now.
Was there any fanfare before this, or did they
No.
just fucking drop
Not that
it?
I remember of, not that I saw. I don't know what the Titan Quest community's been doing. So
You got to tune back into that community, man.
yeah, that looks incredible. I just want to know. It doesn't look incredible. It looks like a fucking 2006 game still or something. I just need to know what the fuck they were thinking.
Do some research for the team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and dive into that, and then eventually do my whole entire 3-part series of why I love Titan Quest or something.
You can use your completed save from 2006.
I've never beaten that game.
Oh shit!
I played it when it came out too. And I got like halfway through. And was like, this game's pretty cool, but that was like on a computer from 3 years, like that I don't have anymore. I own the game on Steam now. Just haven't touched it since.
Well, while you're doing that, you reminded me. They're shutting down Demon Souls servers.
That's right.
Which I just want to mention.
Depressing.
So I need to get on that before February 24th.
Yeah, that's one of the best games for the PS3.
We nominated it as the best PS3 game.
That's
on the
true.
Podcast.
Did it get past the nominations?
That was the number one. We said that. That was. Remember, you were there. We did a top 5 list. We said the best PS3 exclusives. I think Evan and someone else were there.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember.
No one. It was a weird top 5.
I still remember the best games of last generation top 5 is.
Thomas is still hurt.
What did he get hurt by?
He was salty about
Spec Ops.
Spec Ops.
Oh yeah, I think I also like rubbed that salt in that wound. I always do that, but I think Dark Souls 2 on there is still the best out of that.
What was the number one?
Did we say Halo 3? Did Halo 3 win it?
Probably.
Somehow.
It's VGHL.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know if I agree with that anymore in my own eyes, but
don't.
it's a good game.
I really like Halo 3 is one of my favorite games, and I will
Yeah.
agree with that.
What's your favorite game for last generation, you think?
You can't ask me that right now.
Yeah, what did you want to win?
I think I wanted Galaxy to win at the time,
That's fair.
but like those two are very in the same vein for me.
Yeah.
But I think I would pick a different game than both of those right now.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Get back to me.
Come back to me in a few weeks. But yeah, Titan Quest coming out. Demon Souls servers are shutting down.
So I got to get on that this winter break.
You do. You should look into what it all means. So that game's okay. I think you're okay with looking into what that stuff means. I kind of forget because I haven't looked into it in so long.
Like read a guide or something.
No, just be like, look what that world state means.
Oh, okay.
That's the interesting part. Because like you have like world states that like you live in that game. It's very strange.
Okay.
But it's cool. I like that game a lot. It's really interesting. I think it did Demons. It did Dark Souls better than Dark Souls tried to do Dark Souls. I like Demon Souls a little bit more than I like Dark Souls. I like Dark Souls 2 more than I like Demon Souls. I think Dark Souls 3 is still the worst out of all of them.
And then Bloodborne.
And then Bloodborne's Apex Predator killed everything around it.
Bloodborne is still maybe the best thing I've played this year.
It's one of the best games to ever come out in my eyes. So
Bloodborne's so good.
So good. Though I am in love with Hollow Knight right now to a degree that is hard to touch upon.
Okay, tell me about Hollow Knight before you talk about Shadow War.
Okay, Hollow Knight, Metroid game, very much Metroid game. Not a lot like Castlevania, though it's like you fight with a sword instead of like shooting a gun. But it's very much like find upgrades, find new areas. Holy shit, though, I've diverged from people I've heard talk about from by a lot. It was a thing where someone's like, "Oh yeah, I made it here, then I fought this boss." I was like, "Oh, I didn't go up there. Where's yours?" So I went right and then went down and ended up where like I found one of the in-game things you need to find and just found that, but had to go all the way back because I didn't have the thing that opened it pretty much. Then I just found the thing that opened it and that opened up a whole like fucking new stuff to me.
So it's not like Super Metroid where it's sequenced, like it's not really open-ended. Like Hollow Knight, you can actually go.
If there's some like definite like where it's like, hey, you need this upgrade to get fucking by here, but like
Right.
a lot of it feels like very open, and then like right when like you get more stuff to open up, like it feels like the game really opens up a lot. It's also beautiful. Like it looks amazing, like
God.
incredible art style. Actually nailed the idea of what it's very much a Metroid / Dark Souls style of game of like, hey, if you die, all your money gets stuck there. You're hampered a little bit on your health, like how you refill your health style. You have to go back and like fight your shade, which is like what's left there. Well, like, you're like it's really easy to kill. I've never once had like been like, oh my shit, and like whack move on. But the enemies around it will make it more difficult because that game can be hard. It's not challenging for me as much. I've been able to like kind of breeze through it. I've died like I've died to only one boss 2 times. Every other boss I've like clean cut right went through.
Is there one difficulty, like no
one difficulty?
options?
Game is looked at difficulty.
Okay.
I think I fucked up the difficulty curves. I went into 2 exploring mode, and I was like, oh, you upgrade your sword by taking to like a blacksmith. And he's like upgrade 1. He's like, hey, if you find me a pale ore, I'll give you another sword upgrade. I was like, whatever. I just like went down this hole and like fought really hard enemies, was like almost dying, found the pale ore, came back, and then went back to older areas where I should have killed the bosses earlier. Was like whack, 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 dead, and like moved on. Was like, aha, I'm a god now.
Chase Weaver always breaking the game.
Breaking the game allowed me. That's the best part. But then like I also felt like the boss I died to was one in the early areas, even with my upgrade weapons, was tough. And it was like the Mantis Lords, which like it's like you fight one. Then you fight 2 of them at the same time that use the same strats, but like combine them together.
Ooh.
And that was like a little tough. That was really fun. Bosses are fun, and then like there's one boss I did get fucked up to. I beat him once, but then you can activate him in a dream world, like where you fight him again, and like just fucked me up. And I was like,
shit.
I'm gonna walk away. I'll come back to you later, sir, when I'm upgraded some more. Like this seems fucked. But he also gave me the upgrade to smash through the walls. So, like that's cool.
Ooh.
But like it's fun. Like the combat's challenging. Like you can parry a little bit. Like if someone swings and you swing at the same time, you'll parry and like bounce back. But like there's enemies who will just like keep going through your parry, so you have to be careful with them. Like environments can range from like really cool and like melancholy to dark and like creepy with spiders crawling out of the screen at you.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
so
of like
cool.
blacks, whites, and purples.
Yeah,
right?
it's in like greens and like hard greens and like
Ooh.
whites and like it's just there's a lot. It's really cool. The music's like fantastic. It has hit the Dark Souls level. I think people could dive into this and look at the lore for hours. I bet and
Really?
enjoy it. Like it's like it has a different style of how they do the lore, but it's still interesting. How I got like the new thing I got introduced way more lore in a really cool way. Like it added layers to a lore in a way it's really interesting. It's super good.
I had no idea the world itself was that interesting. I thought it was just like cool bug man.
There's like a lot like to the bug empire that happened and like the things around it and like
Oh shit.
good like it's like a dream. I like the healing system, which is like you hit enemies, you get like spirit back that you keep charging like a little ball like next to your health system. You hold B and you just like hunker down, you can't move, and you just like the thing charges down and like you just pop out and then like a health thing appears. So it's like really like be like I have to stop and I have to heal and I'm gonna stop during the middle of like back away from this enemy and hopefully just like rush up and stab me while I'm like sitting there like going like and like charging up. Or you can like shoot like a spirit ball out of yourself. Like it's pretty good, and apparently you're gonna unlock more stuff. Like there's like challenges like if you find like these like little worms stuck in like containers, they'll like burrow away, and then you go like the worm dad. He's like, thank you for saving my sons, and like here like gives you money because like the game only has money as its currency. I have a lot of money saved up, but I keep spending it. Like,
have you broke the economy?
I don't know if I've broken the economy yet, but I have way more money than I know what to do with in that game.
Huh. Okay.
But I'm gonna go around and keep buying things, and I just been buying everything, so that's been fun. There's like keys and stuff to find and unlock. It's just a lot. It's just like a lot of Metroid stuff that I like. And platforming's really good.
It's keeping you hooked though. Like you have not felt distracted by anything, not even this crazy Titan.
No, I've just been like, no, fuck this. I'm playing like Hollow Knight. Like I get home and be like, I need to study. And I'm like studying. I'm like, fuck it, I'm playing Hollow Knight now for like. And it's like the game where I'm like, all right, I'll play for like an hour. And like I look at my spin hour. I'm like, all right, we get to the check. And then another hour passes. I'm like, shit.
That's how you know.
That's how you know the game's good. It's just really fun. I don't want to tell you more. So I want you to experience the finding of that stuff.
I really wanted to play it on Switch, but it's not coming till 2018
Definitely
now, and I gotta play it before we do our game of the year, so I'm gonna just do it on PC.
It's real good, man. It's just good, and it looks so nice. And the enemies are weird, and the story stuff is weird, and it's good.
Do you play with a controller? Or?
I play with a controller. It tells you like straight up goes, hey, play with a controller.
Okay.
It's like controller highly recommended. And I'm like, will do. Because I don't like playing. I almost play every game. If I could play every game with a controller besides first-person shooters, I would. It's like where I sit.
Strategy.
Yeah, strategy against the controller would be so nice. Like you lean back in a chair, like boom, easy.
No.
Battle for Middle-earth 2. That's how you do it.
It's
you
not a Steam controller. They're showing you how to play Civ with
fuck
a Steam
that.
controller.
Fuck that shit. Yeah.
No.
See, I'd be fine with like Civ for the controller, but it's like you have to wait. It's a waiting game. It's like so you'd be like, I'm just gonna move around. It's easy. I like leaning back when I play games.
Civ Revolution was fun.
Yeah. Civ Revolution is one of the better Civ games.
I like Rev.
Rev is good. But I don't want to spoil more for it. You should play it. Everyone should play it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that.
That is climbing my list hard.
You told me it might be your number one.
It could be. If it keeps up like the pace of it I like.
I can't believe it's above Prey for you. Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see how it all plays itself out. But it's good, and I really like it. And then I played Shadow of War, and I beat it. I beat Shadow of War. I didn't beat the post-game crazy stuff that they introduced.
We talked a little bit about it, because I remember you giving me this lore bump. You're talking about the crazy Spider Queen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. So I got to the end of the game, and there's like post-in-game stuff where it's like, hey, defend your keeps from the Shadow of War approaching, pretty much.
Is that managed by other players across the world?
No.
Or? Oh.
It is, you just fight higher level enemies than you have the characters for. You should buy loot crates to fight them.
Oh.
That's like straight up what happens, pretty much. Like you're like at a keep that like you got from the beginning of the game, so like level 20, like level 10 orcs there that you like have. You haven't gone back there. You've gone level 10. You're like, oh, now I'm gonna go to my new area. It's like where the level 30 orcs are, and it's like, all right, now you're fighting level 50 orcs here, with your level 10 orcs at your side, and you're like, this is fucked, completely fucked.
Do you have control, or do they just like fucking come?
So you're like, I'm gonna start this battle, so you can kind of prepare. So that's how you get like you open loot crates. So you have like, oh, now I have like a level 47 orc up there. It's my buddy.
He makes good jokes.
Yeah, he makes good jokes. He's my best friend. The orcs are good, man. They're just like the poet one who just comes out and does like, I'm going to do a sweet poem song and then just hit you with a sword. It's real dumb and good. Just, my favorite one was like the man who just screams, like, the screamer. And all he does is scream at people. So he starts to fight. He just goes like, ah! And you're like, all right, here's my teammate, my best friend, the man who screams. And it's like, and he goes like, we'll fight them together, my liege, stuff like that. Or like, I can't wait to fight them. And just one guy comes and goes, and like stares, and I'm like, yeah, that's my friend, the guy who just yells a lot.
That's probably what I would do if I was an enslaved orc.
Yeah, it's really dumb. But like, the worst part is that game's story doesn't happen till the end of the game. There's like the beginning part, literally nothing that's important, and then it ends.
Just like going through camps and just
well, you just go through, or you have like these like start things like help the Gondorians get out of here. And it's like you meet these Gondorian people who are like on your side, who are like, you know what? I'm going to stay in Mordor and fight. You shouldn't stay in Mordor and fight. Next mission. I'm staying in Mordor and fighting. I'll also stay in Mordor and fight with you. That's the whole arc. One mission. You got to kill the Balrog. I kill the Balrog. There's someone trying to resurrect the Balrog. I killed that guy. Good job. You've done it. It's seen it.
He didn't resurrect the Balrog?
That's it. Balrog comes. You kill it. He's like, I'm bringing back that fucking Balrog. And then you're like, no, you're not, Necromancer man. You kill him. He's like, hey, guess what, motherfucker? I came back again as a Necromancer. You're like, I'll kill you again. I can't come back anymore. I'm dead. And then he dies. And you're like,
Necromancers can only come back once. It's true.
You're like, I got rid of your statues by holding B. And he's like, And
you pressed F over his body.
Yeah. Nope.
Pay respects.
Yeah, pay respects. Salute him one time. That one was like that fight. But last one was cool. You like fought enemies you killed before that he resurrected, like old orcs.
Where's the big Spider Queen?
So Shelob is a spider, and she's like, "Hey, give me the ring," and you're like, "All right, sure." And you give her the ring, and
this was the beginning.
This is the beginning, yeah. And then you're like, "Actually, I need the ring back," and she's like, "Okay, here's your ring back," and you're like, "Thank you." This is legit what happens. You're like, "I need the ring to dominate the orcs," and she's like, "Yeah, okay." She gives it back to you. And then at the end of the game, I'm gonna spoil it because fuck you, everyone who's listening to this. One side mission through the whole game has like been fighting the Nazguls. You fight the Nazguls. Do you know what the Nazguls are?
No.
They're like the shit. Remember like the? Do you watch Lord of the Rings? Have you seen any of the movies?
One.
Remember the shadowy like dudes who stab Frodo?
Okay.
They're the Nazguls. They're the ones who go like do the really creepy scream.
I thought they were like time ghosts.
Yeah, they're kind of like time ghosts.
Okay.
It's not actually that wrong. That's probably the most accurate script I've heard in a long time. But because they're literally men who put on a ring of power. And then died, and they just came back as ghosts.
Okay.
So they're actually this is a good description. I'm gonna use this. And so you're fighting them because you're also like a Nazgul because you have a ring of power. That's how you get possessed by. That's how you become a Nazgul.
That's how I have the elf man in my head.
You get controlled by Sauron because you have the ring of power. But you're like, no, I have my own ring of power.
Wait, Sauron's controlling you because you're wearing the ring of
Sauron
power.
wants to control you because you have a ring of power on, and so those two rings of power are clashing.
You have two rings of power?
No, he has a ring of power. You have a ring of power. Sauron has.
Well, they're equal then.
Sauron has the one. Yeah, so you're fighting each other.
Okay.
So, but you're trying to control one another, pretty much.
Okay.
Because like, if you control Sauron, then all the war will stop, right? Then you just become Sauron. But so the end of the game is like, actually takes that idea
it's like
finally,
like the Lich King.
Yes, that idea. So like the Murals complain like there needs to be the idea of like, why you're doing this for a reason. Like there has to be a reason for why you're doing it. Like instead of just being like, I'm gonna be evil, man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
okay.
it's like but the end of the game actually goes like, yeah, actually this guy is evil, and he betrayed the spirit man betrays you.
Your friend?
Yeah, he's awful. He's just totally evil. He's been evil in both games. He's just like
I
absolute.
thought he was kind of your friend.
He's an absolute fascist. It's like
Okay.
actually kind of weird how much of like an evil person he is. They just really hate him. And so you have been helping out this one lady get rid of Nazguls or like try to fight them. And then at the end of the game, you dominate a Nazgul, which is like not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be able to take control of a Nazgul and like orcs do, like you like dominate one.
Right.
Everyone's like, holy shit, and you're like, man, fuck this is creepy, and you like banish him so he can not be a Nazgul anymore. He's freed from being Sauron's evil servant or whatever.
Oh wow, that's pretty
You
cool.
do the good thing. And then the guy, the spirit man's like, why the fuck did you do? God fucking damn it, we should have dominated him so we could fuck up Sauron. You're like, I cannot do that. I am human, man.
Say like
and then,
a robot.
And then elf lady or human elf lady something is like, I would have done it. And the guy's like, the spirit's like, yeah, okay. And then gives her the ring of power. And then you start bleeding out because you were dead. That's how the ghost man kept you alive. So you're like, my God, and like your neck starts bleeding. You're like, oh jeez, and you fall down, and then Shelob randomly appears like in a vision to you and goes like, how much are you willing to give up to be like to try to save the world, whatever? And you're like, and then doesn't respond, but it's everything is probably what he says. And so he puts on the ring of power from the Nazgul, which is like the Sauron ring of power.
Oh, the one he. Oh.
Yeah, that he killed when he killed the Nazgul. And so now Talion is his name. It like looks like. Has like dark veins going through his body, like can resurrect human soldiers to fight for him, and orcs. Is now like an evil like not evil because he still has his free will.
He's punished,
but like he like looks like he's been like through a lot. It's like the best thing that happened in the game. Like wow, this is actually cool.
Dude,
and
that sounds really cool.
That's the end of the game. There's this whole fucking 30 hours in between of nothing, just bullshit.
I can't believe how cool that ending sounds.
And I was so mad because I was so unbelievably angry because it was so good and I want to finish this dumb bullshit like of the Shadow Army fight, but it's gonna be so hard. I'm gonna need to grind out for loot boxes and get. I just don't want. I'm just gonna look it up on YouTube and is what's gonna happen. But like there's a good story in there. Like I just found it. It was right there.
Wait, so is this like the post game or something?
Yeah, and then also at that point. Then you get to play as Ghost Man and Elf Lady who go to fight. So they go to fight. They're like out there fighting Sauron,
Whoa.
and you play and you're trying to dominate Sauron, and then Sauron dominates you, and so you like they combine. So like it's like this blue and red Sauron combine. Like that's the end
Sauron
of the game.
Does not have a physical
so now
form.
Sauron is an elf man.
Oh.
He just looks like a regular
I
elf.
thought it was like an armor.
Well, yeah, that's
ethereal armor.
So what happens? Like it looks like he'll fight you as an elf man, then just transform into an armor man and fight you at the same time. It's like his like look. He's a powerful magician. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Lord of the Rings lore, the more you get into it, the more dumber it gets.
So the two are fused now. So
they're fused.
You're not elf friend ghost.
Yeah. Now
elf lady.
You're like weird. So your Talion is like a weird necromancer now. It's pretty awesome. I really like it. But then like Elfman gets fucking trounced by Sauron, and then they fuse. Like he dominates him. They fuse
Sauron's
together.
Now super powerful.
Something. They didn't really explain what that fucking means. They're like they're fighting within each other, but also like he's still super powerful. And I'm like, I don't know what happened to Elf Lady.
You're gonna go fight Sauron, and then your elf friend's gonna help you.
That's like the
defeat
hope,
him from
right?
The
like that's the fine thing. Like,
yeah.
But then like I also want them both to die because I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
So like that was the end of the game, and I was like, why wasn't this the start or like the first act? Was like there's like 3 chapters to this game.
Well, because now we can make a third one.
Yeah, well I'd been fine with like a third one being like, oh, and it's like just an interest. It's so boring. It's such a boring fucking game, and that was the best part. And then the combat and everything's still not that great. It's more challenging because the enemy warlord, like enemy orc chieftains, are so much harder now.
Can I still just press the space button and not get hit?
You could, I bet.
Okay.
But like then you just want to be doing anything.
Sure.
I don't know. I guess like the trade off at that point is just like I'm just spinning around, but like you need to kill orcs and shit, so get to it, and that can be a little challenging. But it sucked.
Why is the spider lady good? I thought she was bad. Is she gray? She just wants Sauron gone?
Yeah, she just wants Sauron gone,
Okay.
and she sees that like if she helped you out, you just become the new Sauron. But then when the evil man left you, she's like, well, now you can probably not be Sauron. So I'm gonna tell you to put on the other person's ring. And you're like dope, and then you become evil man.
But you're not actually evil.
You're not
you
actually
look evil,
you
and you're
look-
also mad.
You look real fucking evil.
And you're mad.
Yeah, you're mad as hell.
And you as the player are mad that
Yeah,
you suffered through that whole
I
game.
was actually happy. I'm like, finally, plot development. Fucking A.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm glad that game has something cool in it.
Yeah, finally. It only took me 30 hours to dig for it and then be disappointed by what the next part was, to open up these fucking loot boxes of the game.
You would have been more disappointed if there was just nothing.
It's true. I don't know. I might be even more. I'm happy that I'm angry at these fucking loot boxes. I'm just going to look up the secret ending, whatever.
That's the move.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. That system is garbage. The upgrade tier system fucking sucks.
Hey, can I talk about Nier?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about Nier.
I've been playing Nier Automata, as you know.
Yeah. Where are you at? Give me the... Where are you at?
All right, so I'm currently back in the robot factory. They're trying to become gods.
Yeah.
All these little robot men trying to become gods. They're singing about becoming gods. They're
Yeah.
trying to kill everybody to become gods.
Did you get the cutscene of the Become God?
I don't know. I'm at a save point in the middle of trying to escape.
Okay, so you like walked up to their
Dude's
god
head
king.
rolled off.
It's so good. Oh, that part's so good.
I just don't understand what's going on in here, and I need answers. And now 9S hacked into a robot.
I will let
outer
you know
space.
a lot of that game doesn't give you the answers. You have to think about the answers yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
In a way that actually makes sense, I think, and not like is like being purposely vague. It's being like, hey, you actually need to think about this.
Yeah.
As a human being, I really like this part of the game.
It's cool. Like
It's
I'm
really
very
cool.
into how crazy these things are getting.
Yes. So you're playing as
2B.
2B, okay.
And I feel like I'm very close to the end of the first playthrough.
Yeah.
I feel like I
think
am.
you are.
And I'm a little upset. I know that I have to play through as 9S next now. I think that's a spoiler.
Dude, it's real good.
Thank you for telling me that, Chase.
It's real good. Well, you want to upset? Look, it's not that much of a spoiler.
Okay. All right.
Look.
All right.
The only reason I'll ever say is I want to keep best moments in this game is because of this game. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll get back to you on that.
I know.
But
we shouldn't add it.
I love the world of Nier Automata. I think it's just a really compelling place, like just the physical map.
Yeah.
I described it to you earlier as it reminds me of Dark Souls 2 mixed with Super Metroid because of how just there are these really strange environments just mashed next to each other in ways that don't really make sense. You just round a corner, there's like this extravagant amusement park with fireworks and shit. And then the music shifts into this kind of creepy but still atmospheric track, and then you fight a giant opera lady who tries to hack into your brain. And it's so cool. And there's so much backtracking in it, which I don't dislike at all because I just enjoy being in that space. I just love walking through that world.
Have you rode the pigs?
No, I see there's like a trophy for riding pigs.
Well, so the thing is in the game, you can just buy bait.
Yeah, I didn't buy that.
Yeah. You just buy bait and give it to them. Then you can just get on them and they go so fast.
I tried fishing once and I fished up some junk and I said, nope.
I fished quite a bit.
Of course you did.
Because you gotta know.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game's good.
I'm mad because like I don't have much. I feel like I can't comment much on it still, even 15 hours in, because I feel like I have to finish this game before I can get into conversations.
How do you feel about plot stuff
it.
so far? How do you feel about the game, like setting themes and ideas up?
I like it a lot, but I feel like if I didn't have the background of what this game was, it would still be very confusing. And but like I understand that this is a very.
Do you mean like if you didn't have like the background of like this is Nier?
Knowing how Taro is.
Oh, okay.
And what that sort of is, like I'm still so in the dark on so much.
Yeah, I think this game would like be confusing if people didn't yell at you to finish it or be like, "Hey, you need to like get through." Because like I still think the first run through is a lot of like setting the groundwork.
But like knowing that there are multiple run throughs, I think changes your perspective playing through a game like this.
I almost feel like it's weird to call them multiple run throughs, because I just feel like they're just continuations of an arc. Yeah, like the only one that feels like repeating the game is your second. Your second playthrough, you're gonna play as 9S.
Like I also know a spoiler about the end of the game. Just mechanically, I know that your save gets deleted.
Yeah.
So
That's not even the good part of that ending though. Like,
that'll like just these little bits do inform how I feel about the game, and I feel like I'm so embryonic still. Like I like the little bits they've given me, if only how weird and pseudo thought provoking they are. But at the same time, I feel like I haven't got to the thought provoking shit. So I don't want to sit here and be some like fake philosophical dude like, oh, they're named Adam and Eve and they're born.
You don't want to be Jean or whatever.
Jean-Paul.
Yeah, Jean-Paul, the fucking philosopher.
I want to do that shit though.
You know, they just literally copied the philosopher textbook from Jean-Paul. He's a real philosopher.
Yes.
And they're just literally using things he said. So dumb.
And it's like I don't know how deep, because like clearly it's about like robots and what that means with humanity, and you're watching these androids who are clearly not human experience human emotion and what that means and how that affects life and death in artificial life.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what the deal is with these humans. There's obviously something really sketchy in the moon base, and your command is this very shifty, like, I don't trust them because I did that side mission where you have to go kill the deserters, and like that single side mission totally changes that game, I feel like.
You have to do the side missions in the game.
I know.
But also remember, if you can't complete them on this route, you got your second route.
I want to do it on both, though.
No, they don't repeat. I don't think they repeat.
Oh,
yeah.
so if I completed this trader one, I don't have the option to do it as 9S.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They make that like a little more streamlined.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Although it would have been cool if it was like the same thing but slightly different.
Yeah.
You learn a little tweak to it.
The 9S stuff is very good, and you should continue playing the game.
I mean, just the two characters, I really like them. I like 2B and 9S's relationship and seeing them warm up to each other, and how like 2B is very cold at first, and then when 9S nearly dies and goes missing, she's like cares about him a lot, and that's like very out of character for her, and you see her grow.
It gets really good.
And I can totally see that going places too. And like 9S clearly cares about her because he's very lonely. He's clearly never had a relationship like this, and he's just cute moments where he's like, I want you to call me Nines, and she like won't do it. And then she almost says it once. And
There's a lot in this game that's gonna happen. I'm so excited.
And then there was a Jungle King, and then
Jungle King's
2A
good.
jumped out and stabbed a baby. Yo, those enemies that are like snakes with like the orb in them.
Yeah.
Fuck those enemies.
They're real easy. I don't know.
Fuck those enemies.
Bad.
I can't hit them.
Use your gun.
So I don't have the auto lock on,
Use your
Chase
gun.
Weaver.
Hey, I beat them without the auto lock on. I turned off the auto lock on. Only thing I didn't turn off was auto shoot at the end of the game. Because I did not want to hold down that button. My hand cramps too easily.
I like games with really unique, weird control schemes. I think it's why I love Ape Escape so much.
Ape Escape's good.
I love games that are just different. They're like, no, you're not going to press X to jump. You're going to press fucking R2. And there's a reason for it.
You press X to jump in this game, though.
Right, but in Ape Escape, you press R2.
That's true.
It's fucking weird, and it's cool, and it's experimental. And I think that's how you actually, like, move games forward.
Yeah.
Without just sticking to the same shit.
What if you stick to the same shit until the best story this year?
I mean, that's okay, too. I think that's why you have a plethora of things doing different stuff.
Nier Automata. You need to keep playing it. Holy shit, you need to keep playing it.
I know. I really want to. I'm going to finish it before I start Xenoblade 2 as well, because I just haven't had time. I'm not going to step away from this game. And I want to do a little more mechanics talk before we get off of it, too.
Sure.
Because I think I really like the game mechanically. It's weird because you think this would be like a hard game, but I think the game is very forgiving in some ways. Like, it's unforgiving in a lot of harsh ways, and like if you die, it can be very punishing, but you can dodge, and I feel like I can dodge without any drawbacks at all. I can just spam R2, and like there's no worries.
Classic Shadow of Mordor.
And there's also ways to like your health will just fill up if you equip the right chips to it, which are like, really nice.
You can also just eat a recovery item.
But and I don't mind it yet because I think the combat is so flashy and fluid, and I still feel like a boss fight is intense enough, and I can be in enough trouble that I am tensing up, and I enjoy it a lot. I think the bullet hell stuff adds a lot to that too.
Bullet hell stuff's pretty cool.
I love games that let you sort of mess with your movement kit, like being able to increase my movement speed or my dash speed is like very compelling for me. Like I love games that let you do that. Like just having control over how you move and being able to customize that is really fun. So I appreciate that that's in the game a lot. And then I ate a mackerel and it killed me.
Yeah, and Jackass tells you.
Character named Jackass, a little on the nose.
Game is good.
Yeah, game's really good.
I just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like I've said as much as I can without sounding like a smarmy know-it-all.
You should play more of that game.
Yeah, I will.
There's like stuff you're saying that I'm just like, I need to know how this unfolds, how it all plays out. It's just a great game.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, same here.
And it's gonna get better.
Yes.
I like Adam and Eve a lot, and I don't think Adam's really dead, even though I stabbed him through the chest.
It gets better.
Okay. Those are the weird Japanese villains that are like I like those kinds of people where they're just fucking crazy. All right, okay. Let's do it.
We have to stop. I'm gonna explode. And we also need to stop. Do you need to leave at 2, right?
Kind of.
Okay.
We got time.
We got a little bit of time. What else have you played?
That's it, dude.
That's it?
School is cracking down.
I
chip a little away at your nose. Oh, I finished Zelda. No, we gotta talk about Zelda.
Yeah, you
I
finished
Zelda.
I'm trying to get you into this.
Fuck, I forgot. I really like Zelda.
Yeah.
I'm shocked I liked Zelda this much. I don't know if you remember earlier on, I was like very skeptical. I was too cool for Zelda, man. I was like,
you're trying to play it off like, oh, how cool I am.
I'm a cool kid. Zelda's good, dude. I was wrong. I was
good.
so wrong. I mean, like, not the wrong because like we didn't play the game yet, but like, I was so blown away by how much I liked Zelda, and I did not expect it.
You did not buy the hype.
I didn't.
And then you got hyped.
And I think, if anything, I've learned today or this year even is expectations. Because I look at Persona 5, which I legitimately thought would be one of the greatest games ever made, and then we saw how that turned out. And I think even Mario Odyssey, I think I hyped myself up a lot for it, and I don't think I ended up loving it as much as I expected to.
Yeah.
Whereas with a game like Zelda, I had such low expectations, and it just blew me away.
It's a good game.
And that's kind of a little worried about Xenoblade, because I think I did hype myself up a lot for that too, so I'll keep you posted.
How do you feel about that final fight?
The final fight, I had a little trouble with because I was just trying to shoot him in the big eye.
Yeah.
And I guess I was too close and the eye wouldn't open, even though the eye kind of opened, and I was clearly shooting him in the eye. And then he spit on me, and I flew back 100 miles, and the eye was open again. So all I had to do was move back. That was it.
That final boss fight is the final part of that boss fight is trash.
It looks really pretty.
Yeah, but like it's trash.
Yeah, they're doing their cinematic thing.
Yeah, it sucks.
It didn't put the bad taste in my mouth for me, but it very easily could have if it killed me or something. I would have.
I was like just really bored and was just like confused. Like for most boss fights in this game, I was like really bored throughout most of them. I think the final Ganon fight's pretty all right, even though I don't like the design that much.
I found it more challenging than I expected because people talked it like they walk in and one-shotted it, and I definitely didn't do that.
I sort of walked in and like one-shot it.
Okay.
I sort of like brap, and he's like ah.
I used the Master Sword. It still took me a while.
Yeah, I like creamed him.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
He like turned on his invincibility. I was like having trouble cracking it because I never got good at parrying the bolts.
Oh, see, like the thing was like I was not using the Hyrule Shield. I didn't get the Hyrule Shield until after I beat Ganon.
Oh, okay.
So like
I went back in.
I was like poof, poof, poof. Like I was just good. I just got used to like I'm like if I don't, everything breaks on me. So if I don't get good at parrying this, I'm gonna lose all my shields.
Huh.
So I just like went into this castle and just be like, I'll sit here and go da da da, and like got good at parrying.
Well, I never even fought Guardians. I've never killed a Guardian.
What?
I've never killed a Guardian.
I mean, you just walk up and like reflect it.
No, dude, I just avoided them. I would just run away.
Once you know you can reflect it, they become nothing. They're chumps to you.
Even
You're
then,
the god among men. You're like, ha-cha! And it's like, and the game freezes, goes, douche! And you see the Guardian, and it goes like, oh no, and like spawns back like ancient screw core, and you like leave.
Did you buy the house?
Oh yeah, I bought the house. Put some weapons in there.
I bought the house, and then I had no money left, so I couldn't get that last Great Fairy, which sucked because I really wanted the fourth Great Fairy. I was like,
yeah, I got
10,000 rupees.
Did you get the horse fairy?
No, I saw that there was one out there. I was talking to some people. They're like, hey, there's a giant horse over here.
Well, that one's really weird.
I've heard.
It's good though. But yeah, that game's cool.
My friend found an item that lets him like place a warp point anywhere on the map. And I have no idea how he won't tell me. I don't want him to tell me.
That's a DLC item, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was some cool side quest thing.
I believe that's a DLC item.
Never mind then.
I think you get through a side quest, but it's DLC.
Okay. I thought it would have been some really cool discovery.
No, I think that's a DLC item, but I'm unsure.
I think some of the rewards are underwhelming for like side quest stuff. Like you do the dragon stuff, and you should get some cool shit, and you don't.
I think a legit problem in that game is I think the world's really cool. I think being in the world's really cool. I think everything else around that game has like a lot of like feels empty. Feels like a lot of like the stuff you get from it is empty, and like that's my real problem. That's like my real gripe with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked Skyrim when I played. I walked around, I was like, this is a cool world. But like everything else, I try to get through it. Like I'm like, but where do I dig into? Like what do I get for doing this? It's like like a pouch of gold, or you get like a mediocre armor that you need to go upgrade. And you're like, I gotta go find all these chews now. I gotta go hit these yellow chew boys.
I think movement alone makes it so much more entertaining, though.
Oh yeah,
the
like
way you move.
Remember I told you about this? This is gonna be my game of the year list. I like this game a lot. I like it way more than Skyrim. I just think these problems make it not the highest list, like highest on my list of anything.
Yeah, no, I totally see what you're saying.
I want to walk in like Final Fantasy 15 and walk into a dungeon and be like, this is a motherfucking dungeon, and fight something.
Like, man, I agree, dude. Like, if there were a dungeon in this game, it would be fucking incredible. Like imagine if they were on the scale of like the castle, Hyrule Castle, and like, what if it was just a hole in the ground? And it's like you're in this underground forest fucking temple, and it's this sprawling dungeon.
Yeah, and I don't need like to get like a Pegasus boots out of them or something. Like I'd
really like to get items.
Yeah, I would too. But like the shrines suck. Like in my opinion, like straight up. Like I think they're super boring. I think a lot of them are so easily solved that I'm just like whatever. Like I never had like a fun time. There's like 10. I was like, hell yeah, this was a good time. Other ones are like pretty mediocre. Other ones are you're fighting a guardian, and the other ones are just really bad.
I don't know. I was actually thinking about this. If I think shrines or moons are better.
I don't know if I like either of them that much.
Ooh.
I sometimes still prefer just when it gives me a really good level and goes, you need to go here from here. And we designed a really good obstacle course for you to run through in
Like Mario Sunshine.
Yeah. Mario Galaxy is actually what I was thinking.
There we go.
Mario Sunshine has this bad part of it where instead of a cap, you have a fucking dumb flood.
It's the whole game.
Yeah.
Not the whole game. You get those floodless parts.
Yeah.
I like those parts.
Almost like those are the good parts of the game.
Those are the fucking hard parts.
Yeah. That's like the part I want from Mario. I like moons maybe more, I think, actually, because I feel like
I think it's nice that you can get such a constant reward for things big and small.
And also, like, that reward is your progression, where shrines I don't enjoy doing, but I have to do them to get health or stamina. And I don't like them. Like, I like getting the moon in Mario's. I'm like, I got up here. I'm like, well, that was kind of fun. Where, like, a shrine is like, you go in there and you're like, I'm going to do this, like, all right, stop this, freeze water, cryo, jump across. I got the thing. Like, it feels like I get more of a reward in Zelda for doing the same thing I did in Mario, which felt like I wasn't doing that much and I still got the moon. They're so plentiful. You're like, I got him. But like shrines are like, you've done a you've conquered my puzzle, Link. I'm like, your puzzle was like shoot a ball through a thing. Like it was real easy.
Yes. I think I do really like. I think the shrines are fun still. I think it's really fun to have these kinds of puzzles. I think the rewards need to be more substantial and more kind of catered to being like, let's have some harder shrines that aren't just combat based. Or let's give you something better than just this like weird weapon or just an orb. Like it'd be cool if there was a mid-tier reward kind of thing that wouldn't be like a Pegasus boots, but like something really cool or some kind of outfit or
I wish there was something they give you something there either. I wish they were just harder. I guess like my actual general rule.
But like there are some really cool ones. Like I love the mazes. I thought those mazes were really fun.
I'm not saying there's not some. Like I told you, like I think there are some really cool ones. It's just there's also some ones that are just like, yo, you put ball on thing that goes poof and pushes it, and you go. And he goes, "You've done it, Link. You've solved my mighty puzzle."
I still get endorphins when I do that, though.
I didn't. I was just like, how can I kill myself for doing this in the most dumb way possible? And I figured out a lot of ways how to do dumb things. But there's like one like I remember like specifically is like, you raise the water and lower the water with like a beam that goes around it, and then you use like cryostasis and jump across, and then you get the real like treasure of those levels are like, how do you get the treasure chest in here? That's the real hard part.
And they're not hard.
They're not. They're like there's not a lot of challenge there, and like I want that challenge sometimes, especially from a puzzle.
Did you feel like the orbs themselves weren't like? I wonder if you did more shrines than me overall, so the progression felt less meaningful.
I did not a lot of shrines on my first playthrough I began in, which was still pretty easy. And on my second playthrough on my Switch, I did almost every single shrine.
Wow, okay.
I was, I think, 2 away from finishing the game, and then someone deleted my save. They'll remain nameless.
Oh my god.
So I'm probably not going to play Breath of the Wild again, or if I do, I'm going to need to, like, downtime and, like,
you could play the hard mode.
It's not like the part, I hate the combat in that game. It's so bad. What if it was good combat, Joe?
I don't think it's bad. I think it's serviceable.
I think it's broken, and that what makes me. That's why like I don't like it.
I get frustrated when I dodge and I should get a flurry thing and I don't.
That
feels bad.
This is the integral part of the Man, I wish that combat worked.
Bow feels good to use.
Bow feels like I think I'd give that game a lot less shit if when I did a backflip and something went right underneath me and I saw it and I could feel like it on the back of like that dumb hat and I was like, oh my god, it's and I go in, but like that doesn't like the times like. I get a flurry when I did a backflip 3 seconds too early, and I don't get the flurry when I do it at the perfect time, and I get so mad.
I get it. No, I do. But did you do any of the other side quests? Like, did you get the Thunder Helm?
Yep.
Okay. I've, like, started doing side quests around there. But, like, the idea that that's something you can earn is cool. I would have liked more of that kind of stuff.
I almost wish that was like the dragon side, like where that was a challenge. It was like go up here with there's a woodcutter's axe. Thank you, my friend. Here's a helmet, and you're like, oh, like what? What?
Because like it was really hard to get those dragon scales. I got 2 of them. I didn't get the green one.
Did you fight the one on top of the?
That blue, yeah. And then you get fucking nothing for it. And I'm like, this is such a cool side quest. And like, I get it's the journey, but like, you want to feel like that was something. Like, what if it gave you like more? I know there's not mana in the game.
Well, the thing is, like, to me, is like if they want it to be the journey, they shouldn't have a quest for it. They should just go up there, fight that dragon. That scale should be like a great upgrade item. Then
that's what I'm saying.
Or something.
Like, what if there were items in the game?
I think the shards are upgrade items later on, so I'm unsure that actually being.
Oh, you can like use them
as like to upgrade your armor, maybe. So like maze. Well, like I wish I could just kill that fucking dragon then, and you like take it out, and you kill it with your sword. You know, like stab with like the master sword. Or, like this is why I almost wish you just had the master for the whole game, but it's besides the point.
No, I think the master sword, the way you get it's really cool.
Yeah, there's a part of me that just wishes like you maybe didn't have breakable weapons. Like let's say if like you killed that dragon with a sword, you pulled out, and your weapon's upgraded all of a sudden. Like the dragon's blood, and like something cool happens.
Or it becomes unbreakable. Like that's what you get.
Yeah, you're like it's like oh hey it's Link. It's me, Fi, coming out of your sword for some reason again.
No.
Hey, if you coat one of your weapons in this blood, I'm just gonna give it to you as an item. You can have an unbreakable weapon.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool. Like,
or upgrade it somehow.
Yeah, like or like, hey, this dragon automatically upgrades one of your gear that you want to pick for free because you fought this really hard battle. Like that'd be really cool too. Like something instead of just like here's a spirit orb, my friend.
I think that's why items are so compelling, and you can play with them in such cool ways, and you can have a mana bar and be like, oh, you did the wisdom, dude. Here's like double mana or something.
Yeah, I'm not against breakable weapons. I wish they were a little more sturdy sometimes.
Yeah,
I feel like because then comes the problem of like I'm hoarding all my good weapons for nothing. It feels like sometimes I'm like I beat this Bakan with a stick. He dropped a stick. I'm picking up the next stick and I'm going because I don't want to use my fucking cool sword. But so like then I never get to use my cool sword. Like that's like the problem I kept running into.
Yeah,
I sometimes miss in games when you picked up the cool sword. You use the cool sword. Like I just want to use my cool sword I got.
It definitely made you experiment and play with everything, whereas normally you would just use the best thing.
There's almost a part of me that's just like, I wish you had like a set core of weapons that didn't break, and then you upgraded them too. Like so you want to use and then like because I think like. And if enemy variety was a little more different, you'd be willing to switch around. Hit the desk. You'd be more willing to switch around to be like, I'm going to use my big sword instead of like my small sword. So I honestly thought the big weapons kind of sucked until the end of the game where I could just spin for a long time. Because then once I just started spinning, no one could beat me. And I shot lightning on the ground. I was like, motherfucker.
The lightning move's good.
Yeah.
Or even a good compromise. Well, if there was a blacksmith and you could take it there and pay him 100 rupees or something like really expensive, and that would help economy.
I'd almost be willing to say, like, what if you had a core set of weapons and they could break? You have to take them back to repair them. So if you go on long journeys, you need to be able to like, you have a cool hub. Like, there's like a game here that I want to feel meat in.
I don't think they're gonna do this again though, because I think they're gonna go in a complete different direction.
I hope they just are like, hey, we're making the same game again, but this time with dungeons, and I'd be like, ah.
Do you think that like the Nintendo fans of the world would be okay with that?
I didn't know they were okay with Zelda being the fucking same game for 20 years, so maybe they'll be okay with Breath of the Wild for a few years.
Okay.
These little fucks.
I think there's a lot more you could do to this game still.
Yeah, I think there is too. I don't want them to be like, and we're going back to the Ocarina of Time formula.
I still think food is broken. I think the way you
food
eat
is super broken.
There needs to be a cooldown or some kind of stomach meter, right?
Yeah, or just you eat one piece of food and it goes, you can only eat this one piece of food from your inventory.
Exactly. Or it's like for 5 minutes you're full and you can't eat anymore.
Yeah, you're full Link.
And you're hungry Link.
Yeah, there's hungry Link. There's big Link and little Link.
When you're hungry, you get 2 inches shorter.
Yeah.
Helps for puzzle solving.
I'm so happy with bigger Link and little Link.
What if there was like the fierce deity mask? You just fucking found it or something.
Yeah,
you know, like that kind of shit could like. I feel bad because there is that kind of cool, crazy stuff like that horse thing and like the thunder helm. Like there is some of that fringe, really cool hidden stuff. It feels weird to ask for more of it, but I think that would elevate the game so much more.
I don't think it's like hard to be like, yo, this game's really fucking dope. I think it could be better. And like, because like this is like their first shot at it, and you can tell there's like areas where like, yo, you guys definitely made a first shot at this. Like all your parts where you designed your story stuff suck. It's just bad. It's just not good story stuff. Sorry. Like you could try harder on those dungeons. They're just not that great. They're pretty boring. But if you did, this whole rest of the game is so amazing that like I could see you guys like knocking out the park real hard next time. In a way, and like also integrating more of that in unique environment. Like when you cut down the tree to make a bridge the first time, like that's really great. I never use this again. And I'm like, yeah, but I want that again. Like I want that feeling of like, oh, I pushed this and this caused a train wreck somewhere and did something, but like I never did it again.
I wish there was a post game, like a new part of the map opens up in the north or something. And you go there and it's like super hard and you can use all this like that would have been awesome. Something
there, but I think what we really want and legit we just want a dungeon so hard.
Yeah, I think dungeons would be great.
And with that, I think we're gonna call it because you have to go soon.
Don't make this my fault.
It's your fault. I wanted to keep talking.
All right, that's fine.
All right. Have a great one, everyone.
We do this every
week.
week.
Thank you for
enjoying.
We do this every
chance.
We do this every week. We get a chance. We do not do this every week. That's
Doing
a
it
full
next
space
week.
play. Are we?
Goodbye.